Hello, and welcome to today's video where we explore a question that has puzzled and challenged people for centuries. Why does God allow bad things to happen to good people? It's a question that has sparked countless debates, inspired numerous philosophical discussions, and left many of us pondering about the nature of life, suffering, and divine wisdom. In today's discussion, we'll be turning to the pages of the Bible to seek some understanding. It's important to note that this is a complex issue and our exploration may not provide all the answers, but it will certainly shed some light on possible reasons. We will be examining four key areas: the nature of free will, the idea of testing and spiritual growth, the concept of a larger plan beyond our comprehension, and the promise of redemption and mercy. So buckle up and prepare your minds and hearts as we delve deeper into this profound topic. Join us as we delve deeper into this profound topic. Let's start this enlightening journey together. Join us as we delve deeper into this profound topic. Our first reason comes from the nature of free will. In the beginning, when God crafted the vast cosmos and the minute details of life, He did something remarkable. He gave humans the gift of free will. This gift, as depicted in the Bible, allows us to make choices that can be good or bad, choices that can bring joy or pain, choices that can lead to life or death. Now, it's important to understand the gravity of this gift. You see, free will isn't a light matter. It's like being handed the keys to a powerful vehicle. If used wisely, it can take you to remarkable places, but if used recklessly, it can lead to disaster. Consider the story of Adam and Eve, the first humans, as told in the Bible. They were given the freedom to live in the Garden of Eden, with all its splendor and bounty. Yet they were given one command: not to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. This was a test of their free will. God, in His infinite wisdom, allowed them to make their choice, to exercise their free will. And they chose to disobey. They ate the fruit, an act of rebellion that led to their expulsion from the garden, and introduced sin and suffering into the world. You see, their decision, their exercise of free will, had consequences. And these consequences didn't just affect them personally, they echoed down the generations, affecting all of humanity. So when we ask why bad things happen to good people, we must consider this aspect of free will. Because when God gave us this gift, He gave us the ability to make choices, and sometimes those choices can lead to harm. It's a sobering reminder of the power and responsibility that comes with free will. Their choice led to consequences that affected all of humanity. Our second reason revolves around the idea of testing and spiritual growth. In the grand tapestry of existence, we often find ourselves in the crucible of adversity. This too is part of the divine plan, a plan rooted not in arbitrary cruelty, but rather in cultivating strength, resilience, and wisdom within us. To illustrate this, let's journey through the pages of the Bible to the story of Job, a man of unwavering righteousness. Job was a man blessed with abundant prosperity, yet he found himself at the receiving end of unimaginable suffering and loss. His lands were laid to waste, his children were taken from him, and his body was afflicted with painful sores. His plight was such that even his wife urged him to curse God and die. Yet, throughout these trials, Job held steadfast to his faith. He wrestled with questions and doubts, grappling with the enigma of his suffering. In the depths of his despair, he did not reject God, but instead sought to deepen his understanding of the divine. His faith was tested, refined like gold in a furnace. Through his trials, Job not only persevered, but also grew spiritually. His understanding of God and his own character deepened, and he emerged from his ordeal with a stronger, more intimate relationship with the divine. His story is a testament to the transformative power of adversity. But let's remember, this is not about romanticizing suffering. It's about acknowledging that sometimes, in the crucible of adversity, we find an opportunity for spiritual growth. It's about recognizing that our trials can make us more compassionate, more resilient, and more attuned to the divine. Job's story teaches us that adversity can be a catalyst for spiritual growth and a stronger relationship with the divine. It's a reminder that even when we're in the eye of the storm, we are not forsaken. We are being shaped, honed, and prepared for the journey ahead. The third reason emphasizes that God has a bigger plan beyond our comprehension. In the grand tapestry of life, each thread weaves a unique tale, and sometimes the pattern doesn't make sense from our limited viewpoint. Yet, from a broader perspective, Each thread contributes to an intricate, beautiful design. This notion is echoed in the biblical book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verses 8 and 9. The words of God resound, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways." It's a humbling reminder of the vastness of God's wisdom compared to our own. His plans and purposes, though mysterious at times, are far-reaching and infinitely wise. Now, this doesn't mean we're left to navigate life's challenges blindly. After all, faith isn't about having all the answers, it's about trust. Trusting in the wisdom of a creator who holds the universe in his hands and yet cares deeply about each one of us. Imagine for a moment a child trying to understand the reasoning behind a parent's decisions. It might seem unfair or even nonsensical from their perspective. But the parent, with their broader view and deeper understanding, knows that their decisions are for the child's ultimate good. In the same way, we may not always understand why God allows certain things to happen, but we can trust that He is working in ways that we can't always see or understand. So, what does this mean for us when we face trials and tribulations? It means that even when the sky is overcast and the path ahead is unclear, we can have confidence in God's bigger plan. We can trust that He is weaving a pattern that extends beyond our comprehension, a design that is ultimately for our good and His glory. The hardships we encounter, as difficult as they may be, are not senseless or meaningless. They are part of a greater narrative that we are yet to fully comprehend. It's an invitation to trust in God's wisdom, even when we can't fully grasp it. Our fourth reason centers on the concept of redemption and God's mercy. These are powerful themes that echo throughout the Bible, serving as a beacon of hope in times of hardship and despair. Let us turn to one of the most beloved parables, the parable of the prodigal son. Here we have a young man who, driven by the desire for independence and the allure of worldly pleasures, decides to take his share of his father's property and venture into a distant country. Once there, he squanders his wealth in reckless living and soon finds himself in desperate straits, so much so that he longs to eat the pods that he feeds the pigs. This is a bleak picture indeed, a young man who had everything now reduced to nothing. But here's where the narrative takes a hopeful turn. The young man, in his deepest despair, remembers his father's house. He remembers the kindness, the abundance, and the warmth. In that moment, he decides to return, not as a son, but as a hired servant, for he believes he has forfeited the right to be called a son. Now, one would expect a father scorned to be enraged, to rebuke his wayward son for his foolishness. But the father in this parable isn't just any father, he represents God, the Heavenly Father. And when he sees his son from a distance, he is filled not with anger, but with compassion. He runs to his son, embraces him, and reinstates him as his son, not a servant. This is a powerful testament to God's mercy, His willingness to forgive, and His desire to restore those who have lost their way. No matter how far we stray, no matter the mistakes we've made, God's mercy remains. His arms are always open, ready to welcome us back, ready to offer redemption. This parable teaches us that God's mercy and the possibility of redemption are always within reach, no matter how dire our circumstances may seem. In conclusion, the question of why God allows bad things to happen to good people is a profound and challenging one. We've explored 4 reasons from the Bible that offer some insight: the nature of free will, the process of testing and spiritual growth, the existence of a bigger plan beyond our understanding, and the promise of redemption and mercy. Each of these reasons invites us to look beyond the surface of our struggles and consider the potential higher purposes that may be at work. They remind us that our human understanding has its limitations, and that what we perceive as bad might be part of a larger divine plan that we cannot fully comprehend. While these insights may not completely answer this complex question, they offer paths for further exploration and reflection. They encourage us to continue seeking understanding, to find solace in our faith, and to trust in the wisdom of God. Let us continue to seek understanding, find solace in faith, and trust in God's wisdom. Thank you for joining us today.